everyone, welcome to my in-depth review of the live-action Beauty and the Beast. Of course, there will be spoilers in this to the movie, so if you haven't got a chance to see it yet, you should definitely go see it. If you want to know how the movie was and if it's worth paying for to go see it in theaters, go ahead and check out my spoiler-free review of the movie. Now, without further ado, to the review. First off, I was pretty much pleased from the minute this movie started because we actually got to see the prince get turned into the Beast. And we actually got to know some pretty interesting things about the curse that the original just didn't cover. For instance, something we never knew from the original is what kingdom he ruled over. I mean, his castle seemed pretty close to the town Belle is from, but they sure don't seem like they're missing a king or prince. But of course, Disney cleared this up for us. Something that happened with the curse is it erases the memories of the people that everyone who got cursed knows. So everyone in the town forgot all about everyone who got cursed and all about the castle and everything. So this made me very happy. Also, we got a deeper understanding of Belle. We got to know a bit about her mother, more about her relationship with her father, and her relationship with the town. There's actually a really interesting scene towards the beginning of the movie where Belle is teaching a little girl who also lives in the town how to read. And everyone just kind of freaks out and, they're like, oh, she doesn't need to know how to read, all this. I just think it was good to see that because in the original, to me, to be honest, nothing against Belle, but it definitely seemed like she was looking down on the town just because it wasn't what she wanted. I mean, they didn't seem to understand why she liked reading so much, especially Gaston, but they all seemed nice to her. I mean, for the most part anyways. So for her to just be like, oh, no one gets me, I want to leave this place, it just didn't make as much sense. They also made an interesting change. They didn't actually have a bookshop like they did in the original. Belle would borrow books from, I guess, the priests, which makes more sense. I mean, why would a town that hated reading basically and no one but Belle read, why would there even be a bookshop there? And why would the bookshop owner just give her books when she's the only person who goes there and gets books from him? So, he would be making no money if he didn't make her pay. But, that's besides the point. I'm sorry if I'm making it seem like I don't like the original and poking all these holes in it that, live action fixed. I don't hate the original at all. I really like it. But to me, one of the reasons remakes exist is to clear up questions that the original didn't answer. Now, real quick, I do want to talk about the character Gaston, who is played by Luke Evans. First off, I love that they made his character a bit more evil. Not to say the Gaston from the original wasn't evil, he did plenty of bad things. But leaving Maurice out in the woods to die by wolves is very interesting to me. I think Luke Evans did an amazing job with Gaston. But I will say at the end, when, Gaston and the Beast are fighting and, it's basically Gaston's, scene where he dies. I kind of feel like they had a little too much fun with it, and like they were keeping it going like a little too long, and we know Gaston's gonna die, if we've seen the original, and you're just kind of waiting for it. And then I feel like they remembered that they had to kill Gaston off, and they're like, oh, shoot. And, really quick, they had to have the ledge break on him and all that, which was fine, but I do think the original executed Gaston's death a bit better. Now, since we were talking about Gaston, we just have to talk about LeFou, played by none other than Josh Gad. Which, to be honest, I was the most excited when I heard he was going to play LeFou. I just remember thinking, oh wow, he's going to be great. And he actually exceeded my expectations a little bit. Not that I didn't think Josh Gad could pull it off. I just really didn't know how big of a part they were actually going to give LeFou. I mean, he is a side character anyways. But they actually gave him, I think, more spotlight. I mean, he's still a side character, and after all, this is Gaston we're talking about. Not like LeFou could ever get out of that shadow. To me, in the original, LeFou was just straight up evil. Along with Gaston, he went with Gaston on everything. He took all the crap and he just didn't care. But this actually really made me feel for LeFou. I mean, he went along with Gaston and everything. But towards the end, he definitely, he had enough. Also, I have to talk about this just because I know you guys in the comments are gonna, say something if I don't talk about this. But yes, LeFou is actually the first gay character from Disney. But this actually didn't bug me as much as I thought it would. Before you say anything, it wouldn't necessarily bug me the fact that he's gay, but since this is a remake from the original, to me it's hard to make big changes to characters that already exist. It's like, for instance, if they remade Monsters, Inc. and they decided to make Mike Wazowski gay just because they can, and him and Sully are roommates and all this, they could potentially make that work. But this I would be upset by because obviously he is not gay. But with LeFou, it's a little bit different. For me anyway, because I kind of saw him as gay already. I mean, there's plenty of scenes in the original where you can tell that LeFou just looks up to Gaston and he just wants to be like Gaston. But for me, there were also tons of scenes where, he came off as liking Gaston more than a friend. And I mean, he took so much crap from Gaston in the original that it really seemed weird that even though he looked up to him, they're best friends in LeFou's eyes. I mean, to me, no one would take that kind of crap. But I will say, if you weren't wanting him to be gay, it's only for one tiny scene, pretty much. To me, it's more than one tiny scene. The official gay moment is one tiny scene, but LeFou himself is just very flamboyant, and you can see it before the official gay scene actually comes. But needless to say, it's a very small portion of the movie, and it doesn't make or break the movie. Now, as I said, we got more Belle and Beast backstory, but to me, we also got more scenes with them together. And I feel like we got to see their relationship grow more than we did in the original. In the original, it just kind of seems a little bit forced. I mean, not really, but a little bit. They just kind of make it seem like one day Belle just kind of warms up to him and is like, yay! and then they fall in love and it's a happy ending. It happens around the same time, like right after he saves her from the wolves, which makes sense. But I feel like they had more in common and it was easier for Belle to fall in love with him. For instance, in the original, he didn't know how to read. Of course, that gave her the incentive to teach him how to read, so a bonding experience for them. But in this, the Beast loves to read as much as she does. Another thing they changed about the Beast is I felt in the original he was a big softie at heart and he was a big romantic. Funny enough, in this, the Beast claims he hates romance and he doesn't like Romeo and Juliet. And Belle is the one who's the romantic. But it more rubs off on the Beast than anything. I feel like once he starts to fall in love with Belle himself, he actually likes romance more. Something else I really liked at the end of the movie was the fact that everyone actually did turn into objects completely. Which was probably the saddest part about the curse, is that if the Beast couldn't find someone to love him and he loved her before the last petal of the rose fell, everyone would be objects permanently and wouldn't be able to talk. So the Beast would be forever alone. I also just wanted to say that we got a couple new songs with this movie, along with songs from the original, and I really liked that. I especially liked Evermore, which the Beast sings after he basically lets Belle go to save her father. And with the original songs, they actually added some other lines to it. They kind of switched it up a little bit, which was also nice. I especially liked LeFou's lines in the Mob song, because to me it's kind of a pivotal moment in his character development, and he's kind of questioning Gaston and whatnot. And with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Let me know down in the comments what you guys thought of the live action Beauty and the Beast. Did you like it more than the original? Do you still like the original better? Thank you guys for watching and see you guys next time.